You are watching McLaren Port Huron Today's Health Program, and in this segment I am speaking with Megan Wilson about her desire to improve the patient experience for children with autism spectrum disorder as they visit the hospital, as well as the establishment of the Levi's Link Fund through the McLaren Port Huron Foundation. Megan, thanks so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you so much for having me and letting me tell our story.
So I know the Levi's Link program and the fund is named after your son Levi. So tell me about Levi and what led you to the development of the fund.
Well, Levi was diagnosed, he's our oldest son, he was diagnosed at 2 years of age with autism spectrum disorder as well as apraxia of speech. For the last 3.5 years, we've been traveling to West Bloomfield 4 to 5 days a week for intensive ABA, speech, and occupational therapy. We've also become huge advocates of autism awareness. Through that, we've met some wonderful people and follow some wonderful families in similar situations to ours. And last year, I learned of a program called George's Pass at Valley Children's Hospital out in San Diego. And it's a first of its kind program to address autism and children in their hospital stays. I couldn't believe how amazing the program was, and from having a hospital stay with Levi, I knew how important it was for families with a child on the spectrum. So I reached out to my friend Lynn, and she put me in contact with Kathleen McKenna, the Director of Surgical Services, and it's kind of been a whirlwind ever since, and we're very excited to launch Levi's Link here at McLaren Port Huron.
Great. So you spoke a little bit about some of the issues that your son had being in the hospital. So can you tell me about what are some of the other issues that people with autism spectrum disorder or other developmental disabilities, what are some of the challenges that they may have when they come into the hospital environment?
Absolutely. Children and even adults with special needs, well, they have special needs at a hospital. They need to feel safe and comfortable, and a hospital environment isn't really that welcoming at first when you don't know what to expect. Particularly bright lights, loud sounds, lots of unfamiliar faces. It puts them all at unease. We are very excited that the Levi's Link program will not only address just autism spectrum, but it will also address special needs such as Down syndrome and sensory processing disorders. And it will address both children's needs and adult needs because those needs travel with them through time. So we're very excited that this program can really make a benefit to those people who need help at the hospital.
That sounds amazing. So I know that you've been working with a committee here at the hospital. So can you tell us about some of the things that you're working on and how the whole Levi's Link program looks?
Absolutely. Well, first off, the committee is just amazing. I could not imagine a better outpouring of wonderful people to work on this program. It all starts with registration paperwork and surveys where families can tell the hospital a little bit more about the patient, some of the things that might trigger them and some of the things that might help them feel more comfortable at the hospital. We've then worked with Casey Paul, who has been just amazing, and she created a social story for the website. A social story is so important for patients with special needs because it will show them what will happen at the hospital from the time they walk through the front door till the time they leave, and let them understand step by step what's going to happen in that day. And then we created the Levi's Link logo, which features a lion, one of Levi's favorite stuffed animals when he was a little boy. And that logo will be plastered everywhere on the patient files as well as outside of their door, so that any physician, nurse, or hospital worker who's going to be going into that room will understand that this is a case of special needs and can look at the file and see what might help them with their hospital experience. We also created toolboxes that will have iPads, noise-canceling headphones, and some sensory toys, things that might help everyone feel more comfortable and make their experience go better.
That's amazing. That's great. So what are your hopes of, what do you hope will come out of this Levi's Link program?
Well, I hope that any patient with special needs, like my son Levi, will have a better, more comfortable hospital experience. My big dream is that it expands beyond McLaren Port Huron into the McLaren network, and even beyond that into the state and further out into the country. It's such an important thing in our society right now. But I keep telling myself that making a difference is just that. I know we can't change the entire world, but I know we can change our world, and that's why this program is so important to start in the Blue Water area.
Yeah, that's That's great. So I know you've been busy helping with the whole implementation and the launch of the program here at McLaren Port Huron, but I know you're busy with other events going on. Can you tell us about what's coming up?
Absolutely. Well, April is Autism Awareness Month, so we certainly take it to heart and we do everything we can to promote autism education throughout the month of April. And we're also promoting the Levi's Link program because it's so near and dear to our heart, obviously. But my husband and I are very excited to announce the first annual Levi's Link 5K and 1 mile fun run out at Mid-Michigan Materials in Jeddo. The run will take place on Sunday, June 24th, and all of the proceeds from the run will come back to McLaren Port Huron Foundation for the Levi's Link Fund. We expect that this will be an annual run so that the money each year can continue to help this program grow and provide the hospital with whatever they need to make this program a success.
Yeah, this sounds like a great environment, a great place to hold a run.
Oh, it will be unique, that's
Yeah.
for sure. It's not often you get to
great.
run at a gravel pit and have some unique terrain.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing your story, telling us about Levi and about your inspiration. I mean, you're inspirational. It's great to see something, your idea come to fruition here at the hospital. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. We need to take a break and we'll continue the discussion in just a moment.